fucking life. Meat. I love food. Life is simple when food is good, isn't it? Yeah, no, I'm just actually about to slay. It's only me, just on my own. Right, this one, we're gonna do a sausage casserole. Yum, well done, Mark. Lots of lessons in there, congratulations. But this video is also gonna be titled, Don't Be a Twat. Because I have been a twat, and I'm gonna show you how not to be a twat or to rectify being a twat. So, being a twat, all I ever talk about is when you're making something is to make a base recipe. No twat. So base recipes is cooking something that has plenty of options to go in another direction. So we're gonna make like a chorizo tom sauce, which can be guided in plenty of different directions later on at a later date. We're gonna turn it into a casserole, so we take this base and we add a sausage. Wonderful, beautiful little casserole, very, very simple. But that can also be turned into a soup if you really wanted it to. There is endless opportunities. So that is the thing that the base does, right? Also, in my fridge, I've got some sausages. Because I'm gonna open up the packet, what can you do that makes you not a twat and leave the rest in there? Yes, you could freeze them. Why not turn them into something that can be used out of the freezer? So we're gonna make a very simple sausage roll. Easy, right? Bomb bomb, prep it, done. And then I also saw in the fridge, I have loads of cream. I bought loads of cream. So just make some butter. I'm sure there's other things in there that will make me more of a twat, but we'll get there when we need to. Right, you get out of the way, mate. So let's start making a tasty base. So we start with onions. Right, get yourself a nice lard pan. Nice bit of lube. Go on, gal. That's just veg oil. What have we got here? Smoked cooking chorizo. Oh my God. So what you need to do is get the little franger off of it. Easiest way is to just nick off one end, split it down like that. Sure. And then you just pull the old one skin, two skin. And then all I do is I just sort of like break them up like this. Lovely, look at that. Yeah, nice bit of sausage. So I'm just gonna go 2 frangers. Now you could do this vegetarian or vegan if you want to, but what's the fun in that? Chorizo is fucking lovely. Right, you get on the old rumble, mate. Right, chopping board can go over there for a minute, because we're gonna use the old service. Yeah. I normally, if I'm making a sausage roll, I pick a sausage that is flavoursome. You could go and get your own pork mince and make your own delicious one, but this is caramelised onion pork sausage. This is just your good old puff pastry. Oh. Right, so fold over, I'm gonna say about there. 1, 2, 3, 4. These, all you need to do is they're obviously coming, oh, these ones are with a really thin skin. These are the ones with the skins that dissolve. 1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin, the old 4 skin joke. Oh, he said it. There for this dish. So then how do you sex up the very simple sausage roll? You could go chili jam, but you could go also a little bit of hot honey. Now you always need a bit of egg wash, once enough. So you may not know, but food waste is one of the biggest things that I talk about on my channel. Maybe I don't talk about it enough. It's one of the things I fucking hate. That's why I'm doing this video. To sort of show you that, you know, if you're going away, spend a little bit of time, do something nice for the world, freeze your food, create something delicious that can be used at a later date. The freezer is the biggest pause clock that you have in the kitchen, so use it, baby. Right, then for a sausage roll, all you need to do is roll it over and just ensure that you have just enough to crimp. Crimp, 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 crimp. Get your fork. Fork it out. If you want to be neat and tidy, trim these little bits off. Give it a good egg wash, little sprinkle. So this is fennel seeds, fennel and pork, wonderful combination. And you need a little bit of salt. And then the best thing to do, stick them in a tray, like so. Pop these in the freezer, just so they go hard. And then you can portion them up. And then all we have to do is pop 2 or 3, 4 or 5, how many guests you got coming around, you got something there. Done. Sausage not wasted, paste not wasted. Right, so I'm actually going a little bit Billy Basic with the old, the base we've got in a minute. So all I've done is the onions and chorizo, I've literally just sweated that down and they've gone like anxious. So soften down, think about it. Chorizo, spicy, touch salty. Onions, sweet, marriage made in heaven. What we're gonna do, chuck in some tomatillos or tomatoes. Oh, I'll tell you what I forgot to put in. Tomato puree. If you're gonna put tomato puree in, normally you should sweat it off and get a nice bit of flavour out of it. Get this on nice low heat, let it tickle away. And for all you keen-eyed food waste beavers, you'll be like, oh, what's going on with the egg? Oh. People get weirded out from necking yolks. Anyway, little pan, we'll just do a quick omelette and eat it. Solution to food waste. Eat the food you buy. Hang on, looks like a crinkled tea towel. Says eat the food you buy. Little omelette. While we're thinking, get this old contraptione out. This is the thing about this video, I'm making it up as I go along, but I'm just trying to give you a real life situation of going, you know what, hang on mate, I did buy some stuff and my life has got a bit hectic and I have run out of things, or I bought stuff that I'm not going to use, and that's what we should think like. Oh my God, I've just found another one. Right, so this one's the 3rd of May. Too good to go, did it? Look, smell, taste, don't waste. Have a look. Yeah, it's actually totally fine. She's a little bit lumpy. Got a few little bits in there. It's all right, in you go. This one, 3rd of May, I actually opened this one yesterday. 5th of May, oh, it's life, fucking life. Then to make butter, very, very simple. Think of it as fat and then liquid. If you whisk, this is all together, if you whisk, these things separate, fatty goodness, butter. Buttery wateriness, buttermilk. So that's all you need to do. Plug it in. Here's my omelette. Very bland. It's not wasted though. You'll start to hear it, it'll start to slosh around. Oh, go, go. So we're not quite done yet. What you want to do is try and get as much of this buttermilk out as possible. Oh. Right, give it another wazzle. Oh, spaffed on, like a bukkake party. So there we go. Okay, that's gonna go. That's your buttermilk. Set that to one side. Now, your butter, you need a big bowl of cold water. Okay, it's best to get a really icy cold butter, but Daddy ain't got any ice. So, butter goes in, and all we're looking to do now is just squidge out as much of that buttermilk that's left in there. So you just squidge. Oh. Give it a wash. So all you want that is that water to run clear. You could change the water if you want, and try not to do it with warm hands like mine, because what will happen is it will start going really, really soft and it will stick to you. So that's why ice cold water is best. Squidge until there is no more liquid coming out. And in reality, that is your butter. How cool is that? Don't we take for granted all the things like this? That's just pure butter, pure buttery goodness. So what you can do from here is you can obviously flavour it, stick it in the fridge, put some salt through there, some smoked salt. You can put garlic butter through it, all that kind of stuff. You know, garlic butter, garlic through the butter. I'm just gonna stuff it into a container and just use it like normal butter. Another lesson in not being a twat and wasting stuff. That'll last for ages. Buttermilk you can freeze, you can use it to marinate chicken, all of that kind of stuff. There you go. I'll have another clean down, we'll be back. So, ladles and jelly spoons, here we are. Ew. You're gonna be like, oh Mark, I bet that's well boring. And I'll be like, yeah, you know what, it probably is. All we have to do is have a taste and see what's going on. Tastes like sweet tomato sauce. As I said, I'm gonna keep this one relatively simple, but this is also a fundamental lesson in cooking. Now, the train of thought, which is probably very true, is sort of season at steps as you go. But if you're doing this, I always love people to sort of take something to a point with no seasoning, have a taste, and register what has changed. Think of it as like a flat line of like flavour of all the levels. You've got a little bit of sweetness, so it's probably peaking up here a little bit. You put a bit of salt in, and it's sort of like it's lifted everything up here. But then you're sort of like going, oh, I'm losing a bit of the sweetness, and that sweetness is maybe just a touch sweet. So what do you put in there to sort of like round certain flavours off? So a little splash of balsamic in there, because those onions are a bit sweet. But then what might happen is by putting that vinegar in, you might go, oh, it's gone a little bit too tangy now. So a little sprinkle of sugar, have another little taste. Something's happened. Something's happened. That sweetness is coming through. Bit more of that, little bit of this, and some pepper. And I'm gonna keep it like that because it kind of gives you like freedom to roam. Freedom to roam, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. This is some butter beans. What I'm gonna do, take a whole jar of these little sausages. Then I'm gonna take half of this sauce and just gently warm. This I'm gonna leave to cool, go in the freezer, and then we'll start cooking some sausages. Pause there, we'll be good. Things are happening. We've done a lot of stuff. Right, so I was just going through the old fridge and I had some of these, some hot dog buns. Why not squish them down, never done this before, make a quick garlic bread. Just another thing you can do when you've made your own butter, nice, a little bit of smoked salt, and then garlic, obviously, because it's garlic bread. While I'm grating this garlic in, Cornish sea salt, this smoked salt, is honestly the best salt. I learned so much about salt. I'll do an episode on salt, and I'll try and get Phil from Cornish sea salt to come in, because my gosh, oh golly, did I learn a lot about salt when we was there. Right, there you go. There's a 2-second garlic butter. Smear that on. Don't be shy. Mum and Dad weren't. Right, I'm just gonna whack this in the oven until they're nice and toasty. Okay, let's just rattle through what we've done. So, we made this sauce, which is here, which can go into the freezer as is, absolutely delicious. Just say it's got sausage in it and meat. Some butter, sit in the fridge, no one's gonna die. This is buttermilk, that can just sit there, no more wasted cream. This is the trimmings, will go into the freezer to make a wonderful stock. Life is good. Oh, Here's our little garlic breads. Look at those, aren't they pretty? Here is your wonderful stew with the beans in. Look at that. Tell you what, eating something like this, even in the summer, is kind of refreshing. Keep that, give it to one of the neighbours. I did do this dish once, and someone was like, oh my God, those sausages look albino. So just for you, I burnt it. Right, there you go. Other little sexy winners for this, you could do a little pangratata or a little pangratado or pangra something, which is like basically a breadcrumb, a little bit of garlic, sweat it down, and then make it nice and toasty. So look, there are plenty more things you can do to not be a twat when you're going away, but there's just a couple of things to use up bits and pieces in your fridge, in your store cupboard, to create something that can go into the freezer. Food waste is a massive issue, and it's not very hard to solve, because all you need to do is eat the fucking food you buy. Want to get stuck in any ranger for you? Oh, go on mate, go on. Is that a thing? Brioche garlic bread? It's absolutely outrageous if it is. This is so hot. Oh, I can feel it burning down my soul. I love food. Life is simple when food is good, isn't it? Like I always say, think about the flavours. Don't just put things in. Think about what a little bit of salt does. Taste as you go as well. People take the piss out of me because I taste a lot. You've got to taste. Register the flavours. What's going to change? I generally say that's a 13 out of 10 dish. Oh, I forgot the sausage rolls. We did sausage rolls that are in the freezer. They're too hot to eat. Anyway, right, if you are enjoying this content, as I know some of you are, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow. I'm gonna go sit down, eat this, and have a little cry. Over.